Hello, my dear students. How are you? I am Dr. Rao, coming back online to meet you with a new lesson. Do you remember me? After a long time, we are meeting again through Zoom online. I wish you a happy Nowruz for all my students. You're all at home celebrating Nowruz inside the house. Once again, a joyous Nowruz for you all. Coming back to my lesson plan, we have already discussed many topics in the classroom. Because of long vacation, we're meeting again for the first time Zoom online. I would like to give a bird's eye view of what we have already discussed. The grammar. We are following Global Beginner coursebook, in which grammar is very, very important for communication or conversation or speaking in English. Without grammar, it's very difficult to communicate or speak in English. I would like to remind you that I already explained to you the persons The first person singular and plural, the second person singular and plural, the third person singulars and plural also. And after that, I discussed the verb forms, the three important verb forms. I have given a special name for them. Present verb form as a V1, past verb form as a V2, past participle verb form as a V3, V1, V2, V3. The regular and irregular. The three kinds of verb forms. Regular verb forms and irregular verb forms. Irregular, again, another type is there. Three different irregular forms and two different forms. And the next important topic I discussed is the tenses. Tense is a time of action. Without knowing the time of action, we can't communicate or speak well in English at all. When you are speaking, keeping in mind the present tense. When we refer to the past action, past tense. When you have something to do in future, and you choose the future tense. The present, the past, and the future. Again, each tense has its own divisions. The divisions are very categorical. And the second important topic that I discussed is the vocabulary. The vocabulary means how to build up your vocabulary. The plural nouns, finding out the odd words out, the nations and nationalities, matching the numbers. These are all the topics that we have in the textbook prescribed for our study, Global Beginner. My dear friends, today I have a new topic which I'm going to present before you. The topic is of very important nature for conversation for the students. And this topic is WH questions. Another name for these questions is that open questions also. They are called open questions. When you want to seek the information, get the information from others, and you ask these questions which WH, that's why they are called WH questions. Nowadays, these questions are called journalists' questions, because the news reporters, the newspaper reporters, television reporters, when they want to collect information, they pose these questions. Why, where, who, what, when, which, all these beginning with WH. In one of my classroom, I remember that I touched upon these WH questions, but I did not explain them in detail maybe. Some of you are absent in the classroom also maybe. Today, I would like to explain to you each WH question, beginning with who. Who are you? When I ask a question, who are you? And then you have to respond with a name. I am. You're a good student, like that. Who is referred to the name of a person or a person, like that. And the next question is, where are you? Where are you? And the answer, the response will be I am at home. I'm watching television. So where is another question which is used for the place or the location which you are in, staying. Where are you from? If you ask a question, where are you from? And my answer is that I come from India, like that. When is another WH question. When is referring to the time. When is your birthday? When are you going home? When did you come from America? When will you go Australia? All these questions beginning with the WH. Each question has a special, different meaning. Keeping in mind these meanings, you have to ask these questions, pose these questions. Regarding what, I would like to explain further. What is referring to a thing or an event or an object, like that. Something happened and you ask, what happened? Some incident happened, some event happened, and you ask a question, what happened? When there is something, some crowd at the middle of the road, you ask a question, what happened there? And people say that, no, some accident, some fighting. And another important WH question is, it is asked by many people to know, to get to know the information. Why? When you ask a question, why? It is an interrogative question, asking for a reason why. Generally, we don't ask this question, why, unless you have an authority. As a teacher, I regularly ask you, why don't you bring a pen or a paper to the classroom? Some students come without any pen or a paper to the classroom, notebook without classroom, and then I ask them, why do you come without a paper or a pen? Why? Ask for the reason. So reasoning, sometimes, this questioning also. And another important WH question is which. Which is a choice. When there is a choice to choose one, and you ask, which one do you choose? Which mobile you use? Which television you use? Which app you use? Which place you like? Which is a choice among many. When there are alternatives or choices, and you can ask which food you like, which mobile company you like, which brand you like. So which is used for making a choice, selecting. Take a look at all those. WHO, who are you? Who is the manager of the company? Who is the president of the university? Who is the prime minister of the country? What's going on? What? When you're asking what, the event or incident or a thing that is going to take place. So when you look at each and every WH question, the question is quite different, divergent in getting information. That's why you have to very carefully, very intelligently ask these questions. Who refers to the person, when referring to the time, what happened, the thing or event or an object, why, asking for a reason, where, the place or the location, some function, some meeting, some conference is taking place, you want to know the place, where is the meeting going to take place, which is a choice between two, a choice among many. Another important WH question I'm going to explain to you, whose book is this? WHOSE, whose. When you ask a question, whose, you're asking for the inquiring about the owner of the mobile or the purse or a laptop which is left there. If anything is left or forgotten by anybody on the table, on the road, on the way, and you ask a question, whose mobile is this? Whose book is this? Whose pen is this? Whose purse is this? Whose is inquiring about a person or the owner of the thing that is left or forgotten by the person. When you take a look at all these things, WHO, who, referring to the person, when, WHE and when, referring to time, WHAT, what, referring to the event or a thing or an incident, WHY, reason, why, reason, WHERE, where, place, where is the meeting going to be held, the location, and which mobile you are using, which laptop you are using. You want to know about your choice. There are many mobiles, many laptops belonging to different companies, and you ask which one you are using, which one you are choosing. So all these questions are WH questions, which are used for getting information which is needed for you as a student. And if you're working in a company, if you're working in a what we call intelligence, if you're working in any business, these questions are very important, which carry a weight, a meaning in building up the information. And for a good conversation in English, these questions, you have to memorize them. Because a student of English, a sensible student of English language, he will be asking questions, focusing on the need of the information. You should not ask unnecessary questions. You have to ask questions which are needed for you, the information needed for you. Otherwise, the questions will be taken into misunderstanding by people. And there is one important question which is different, which does not come under this list of WH questions. The last but not least is how. How is a question which does not come under the WH at all. How are you? You are inquiring, asking about the welfare or the well-being of somebody. How is life? Sometimes students ask me, how are you, Dr. here? How is life in Erbil? How are the things going on? How is life? How do you do? You ask always no. When somebody asks you, how are you? And you reply, thank you, fine. And how do you do? So this is another important question, which will not come under WH. WH questions are 7 are there. There are 7 WH questions with the meaning. Who, when, whose, what, why, where, which. And this how is quite different. When we meet again in the classroom, I can discuss this at a great length with many examples if you want. And I will also leave a material for you on this particular WH questions. And I give you another name for this question is that no, open questions, open questions. I think that no, the WH questions have been explained in a simple and easy way. I think that if you have any questions, I welcome you through Viber or in whatever way you want. I think that my material will suffice to clear all your doubts. Thank you for paying attention and listening to me.